Hey everybody, I'm Matt Hill. I'm here in Dallas, Texas at Las Colinas, and we are fortunate to be hosted by the Petroleum Alliance of Oklahoma. I always get my tongue twisters going with me, but I'm fortunate to introduce amazing leaders in oil and gas that provide leadership, advocacy, and education to our energy industry. So introduce yourself, please.
I'm Jerry Simmons. I'm the President and CEO of the Domestic Energy Producers Alliance.
And before we get into what the DEPA does, where'd you grow up, Jerry?
I grew up in Muskogee, Oklahoma. I'm
good town.
I'm honest to God, Okie from Muskogee.
Yeah. Some great songs written about that, right?
That's right. I don't think Merle Haggard knew me when he wrote it, but
what was Muskogee like growing up?
It was a small town.
Yeah.
It was great. It was everything about it was wonderful.
Beautiful town, lots of natural beauty resources to run around in. Back then, without the cell phones and the cameras to catch what you're up to. We were all free to do what we wanted to do. Free range children.
That's
back
exactly
then.
right. Yeah, we were.
What was your first, maybe like a short resume, like what all have you done in your career to lead you? What got you interested in oil and gas? What was your first knowledge?
Actually, I've done a whole lot of things in my life,
that's good.
But after the military, after the Air Force,
thank you for your service.
Thank you. You're welcome. Went back to school and got a degree in geology. And actually, I thought I would go through and get a PhD, and I'd end up teaching in some small school somewhere because I was really and truly just a rockhead, just a real geologist.
That's fantastic. We need those.
Very
much.
Yeah. But when I came out of school, it was 1980, and the oil boom then was just taking off. That boom was taking off, and there were these great jobs to be had looking for oil, and not these shale plays that we have now. This is the old-fashioned geology where you were looking for carbonate rocks or sandstones and
little
stuff.
bubbles.
Little bubbles with vertical wells, and so and I did that for about 7-8 years, and then ended up at the Interstate Oil and Gas Compact Commission. I was the associate executive director there for 6 years. I was a contractor to a Department of Energy National Lab, doing geeky science stuff there. That was a lot of fun. I've kind of bounced around a lot. I worked for the National Association of Royalty Owners. I was their executive director for 13 years, and that's where I met Harold Hamm, and Harold had just formed the Domestic Energy Producers Alliance. This is about 15 years ago, and asked me to be on the board then as the royalty owner guy. And so,
Thank God for leadership like that to go, man. We have all kept our heads down, nose to the grindstone, working really hard, and there was wake up call, shook moments for me too, where we thought that everybody appreciated energy and oil and gas and where it comes from. And little did we know we were going to need some thinkers and lobbyists in Washington to just stop the wave of the false narrative and rhetoric.
Right.
We didn't know that needed to even happen. He saw it happening and said, let's grab a guy like you and get up there before this really hurts us.
That's right, yeah. So I served on the board for about 10 years, and then almost 5 years ago, Harold approached me about taking this job and running this association, and I kind of jumped at the chance. It's great, and I'm very passionate about energy, and that started years and years ago as a young geologist looking for oil, just knowing what we were doing. What people don't realize, there's nothing in your modern life that happens without the energy that fossil fuels provide. Coal, oil, and natural gas. And at this conference, we just heard this morning how last year, 2022, the globe consumed more coal than it ever has before.
And well, look how much, what was it, like trillions of barrels of oil.
Yes. And the other thing about that, the reality of the situation is that when you do the projections out to 2050, and people talk about net zero by 2050, none of the projections, none of EIA.
That is not scientifically possible.
No, it's not. None of the Energy Information Administration or the International Energy Administration projections to 2050 show that. They show increasing oil and natural gas consumption around. It has to happen. Unless something magic comes along, I don't know. I read a story early this morning that there's some guy in Vegas who said some aliens landed in his backyard. Maybe they're going to bring us some technology.
I saw that video. I mean, I don't want to get off in the weeds, but police showed up to investigate because they had seen it too. You never know.
You never know, but maybe they're going to hand us something magic that's going to take the place of all this. But unless that happens, there's just no magic book. Wind and solar, you can't have wind and solar without fossil fuels. You can't make those without coal and natural gas and oil.
Batteries,
you can't do any of that.
Nothing.
Stuff. So it's I guess that's the thing, and that's why I'm passionate about it. And that's why I love what I do. And for our organization, going to Washington D.C., I try to get up about once a month, and we've got a lobbyist up there we work with, and just the members of Congress that we try to educate about the realities.
And lobbyist is a good word. And we're talking about somebody that goes up, shakes hands, and opens doors to conversations for education. It's not slipping money to people saying vote for this. It's we really care about ensuring the next generation of living human beings has abundant energy, and without somebody up there giving abundant amounts of resources to read over and say, hey, when you vote, you need to know the facts and the science and the data.
That's exactly what we do. Is we provide facts and data to members of Congress and the committees. And we do also work with the permanent committees and those committee staff folks. And we tell them every time we're up there, if you need information, if you want honest, reliable information, please give us a call. And we will present it to you, and we'll source it all. So we're not making it up. That this is real stuff, and it's not like some of the green groups will just go say, well, this is bad because we said so. And you say, well, why do you say so? And it's just because they're opposed to us, period. And we try to provide facts and figures and data to back up everything that we say about what we do and why it's necessary. The whole business about EPA's new methane rule that's coming out.
And is that in what's the infrastructure bill called that everybody's working on? I know.
I just lost it. Yeah,
I just lost it too because my stomach hurts just reading it, and going, this is the worst thing that could ever happen to America in my lifetime.
Well, there is no infrastructure being built. That's the problem.
Yeah, we need pipelines. We need, hey, everybody, do you know that once you pull oil out of the ground, it needs to be refined into all these products and uses? And we are not building refineries in America.
That's right.
So all of our energy, we're outsourcing stuff to possible countries that do not believe in freedom and liberty and are against, our way of life, which is, a very opulent way of life.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And we need the infrastructure. And we had our annual fly-in in Washington, D.C., where we take our members from around the country to go visit with members of Congress once a year. We did that a few weeks ago, and we had one of the Federal Energy Regulatory Commissioners come talk to us. And he painted a really scary picture for us about this country and our infrastructure needs and how they're lacking. He talked specifically about several northeastern states, some of the New England states, and how this past winter they kept the lights on by burning diesel in diesel-powered generators because just a state over in Pennsylvania and then into Ohio, they've got the biggest natural gas field in the world, and they won't let a pipeline come into them. New York State won't let them build a pipeline.
We talk a lot in Oklahoma because we're sitting on the Dubai of, natural gas if we wanted it to be. If we truly went all natural gas for heating and energy use as far as like electricity and everything went to natural gas power, and then we start using oil like it should be in products. Instead of heating oils. Don't burn oil. Make that into the products we love and cherish. Natural gas is the best way to go about, the electricity side of things.
That's exactly right.
Our world could change very quickly. For everyone.
That's
affordable
exactly right.
and abundant energy like we likes have never seen.
And we've got, and again, one of the presentations this morning talked about the amount of natural gas we've got and how we can provide that to the world in the form of LNG. We just need the infrastructure here to get it to the facilities. Of course, we've got to build those facilities.
I would challenge our leadership right in Oklahoma. Entice an LNG company to set up at the Port of Catoosa. It's not the Gulf. It's not the East and West Coast, but we can still put it on little barges and get it out to people once those start coming. Hey, guess what? In and out. We got this.
I think it could probably work. Why not?
Or at least set up my neighborhood with a little generator for every single house, right? I tell people all the time, I think the way sometimes our leaders think about it, and I see the way where they want to take power from its citizens is, well, maybe they don't like oil and gas because of the freedom we can provide. I could put a well outside of my neighborhood, pipe natural gas to every house, provide everyone with a generator. Anything that's outside of the scope of the energy we needed for that neighborhood, well, I can turn it into Bitcoin now on a pad. So now I have my own currency and my own energy. Wait a minute, I'm off the grid.
You are off the grid.
That is terrifying to governments and empowers people.
It probably would be,
Or we can go this solar and wind kind of direction, and they can call you up for your I would say social credit discrepancy that you posted on Facebook that day. You go, we've turned your power off.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
You know, stuff like that, overreaching, policy is really scary.
Well, and that's where we are. Nobody probably really saw it coming with the Biden administration, the way we've experienced it. The overreach by the federal agencies is just unbelievable right now. As an association, we're involved in 3 lawsuits right now against the EPA. The California waiver that they've extended. There's now another California waiver for diesel for big trucks, and they're going to put people off the diesel trucks off the road in California. How are they going to get their goods? I mean, I don't understand. So we're in that.
Patagonia backpacks.
There you go. That's it.
All made by oil and gas.
Yes. So
go pick your own fruit, everybody, in the orchards that we don't have fertilizer for anymore.
That's right. Yeah. Well, and again, that's a point that a lot of people are missing, is that in Europe this past year, they shut down most of their fertilizer production, and that's because it comes from natural gas.
Yeah.
And the projections for crop seasons this year and next are pretty dismal. And if people start starving to death because
we feed the world from natural gas and oil products.
Yeah, that's right.
We've never been able to create more production from an acre of land than we have now.
That's right.
We can feed so many more people because of oil and gas.
Yeah, we've got, actually, one of our board members is Chris Wright, the CEO of Liberty. And,
I love Chris. Thank you for what you do, Chris.
Yeah.
He's fun to talk to.
He actually said, let's look at, in a recent debate I saw him in, he said, let's look back to the beginning of the last century. And he said, since then, what we've done, and it's the advent of energy. Number one, that's what happened, was we went from whale oil and all. So we learned how to refine.
Whale oil to what we have now.
Yeah. We learned how to refine the products that came out of the ground, and so that enabled a lot of things. But he said, what the big things? Look at the big things. He said, we doubled life expectancy in this country. Everybody gets to eat better. We have medical facilities now that they didn't have back then. We have indoor plumbing, all these things. And then what did we do? We spread it around the world. And so now the average age on the planet has doubled. And so everybody's eating better. The number of people that are in abject poverty, the number of people that are hungry, all of those things have dramatically changed because of energy, because of reliable, cheap energy, and that's what we do.
All of the catastrophizing around weather events, and regardless of where you fall on the science out there, but most of us have dug into this. If humans have an impact, it's minimal. If fossil fuels have an impact, it's minimal. But fossil fuels make sure that all of us have a more comfortable way to protect ourselves from weather events.
Well, and again, when you look, if you really want to study science, a lot of people say, well, you got to look at the science. Let's talk about that. What are we? Look at the history. We're a tropical species, okay?
I love warm weather.
Human beings are a tropical species, but now we live from pole to pole.
Yeah.
Okay, you can't do that
without
if you're in a loincloth. I mean, you've got to have energy to do that. You've got to be able to have the clothing, the building materials to make housing. You've got to be able to heat it. You need to cool it. So all of those things people just forget about, or don't pay attention to what they learned in junior high and high school and in science class. They completely forgot about it.
Well, it's up to people like you to inspire guys like me to be dumb Oilfield jocks to go, I'm going to start a podcast.
There you go.
And I've got a leader like this that I want to talk to.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
So how do people support your organization? How do people reach out and get information? Where's the best way to reach you? Your website?
We've got a website, depausa.org. And that's the best way to find us. And we're a membership organization, and there's no membership scale. We've got people that contribute quite a bit of money to us, and we've got people that give us $100 a year to be a member. So that's what we do. We do have a PAC, a political action committee, and we take donations to that are not tax deductible or anything for any purpose. And we support political candidates that think like we do.
Yeah, who you need to get Stephanie, out there. She needs to get on that campaign trail. Yeah, I always think about her. I see her in all your stuff, and I'm like, it's time for us to vote for you. I know what you're up to. It's pretty great, but go be in Washington.
She'd do a great job.
I think she'd do a great job.
We love Stephanie. Yeah, she's on our board.
I know.
We love her. Yeah.
You have a fantastic membership. List right there. Is there anything coming up that we need to do as energy citizens to make some changes right now, do you think that would have an impact? Reaching out to our leaders by emails and phone calls and letters.
Yeah.
I think, how much can that change their perspective?
I think, well, again, if we're talking to an Oklahoma crowd, all of our nationally elected officials they're all for us.
Yeah.
They get it. They understand about Oklahoma. They understand Oklahoma's history and what it means to be an energy state. And so there's not a whole lot there, but any just normal citizen should pay attention. I think that's one of the things that I always try to say to folks. My family, friends, and neighbors. I talk to them. I might get my little I heart fossil fuel pin. I wear it. I wear it all the time. I wear it on planes and stuff, and people will say,
starting that conversation.
Yeah, you just start a conversation, and some people will be violently opposed to the idea of oil and gas.
You stay calm.
But you just say, wait, let's
care
talk
about you,
this.
and that's why I'm wanting to talk about it.
Do you like this thing?
Yes,
everybody's got one of these, and you say, do you like that thing? Do you like? You can't have that without fossil fuels. It doesn't work. You can't build the thing, and so maybe sometimes a light bulb will go off, and then they'll get that. So I think that's what I say is just pay attention and get facts and figures. Don't believe any just one source.
Okay.
Don't believe anything I just said. Go look it up.
Yeah.
Go do your own research.
Go grab Alex Epstein's book.
There you go. That's
there we
a
go.
great book.
Don't even believe that. Hey, we're in oil and gas, so we have a stake in it. That's fine. But go get a guy that was outside of oil and gas and came to the knowledge of.
They've got a speaker here tomorrow, Michael Schellenberger.
Yeah,
read his book.
Oh, we got it right here.
There it is.
Hey man, I don't mind plugging this guy at all. Another great book, Apocalypse Never.
Yeah.
Go get that.
Yeah, go get that. It's a great book. So yeah,
you're next. You need to write a book.
I should. Yeah.
Have AI do it now, right?
That's right. Yeah. Okay.
Jerry, God bless you. Thank you for the interview and what you do, and being my victim today. Poor guy. Go to DEPA USA.org. All right. Thank you guys. Take care. God bless. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Cool.
Ta-da.